Welcome to the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, subscribe to this channel. We'd love to have you over here as a fellow chatter. We go live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, welcome to the Blah 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 podcast. Hey, everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to the Blah 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 podcast. I'm Marlene. I thought I'd come on quickly and say hi. It's early, y'all. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this topic because I see a lot on a regular basis, and I definitely feel like people need to learn to walk to the beat of their own drum. It's nothing wrong with, being yourself. And I see in today's society where there's nothing but replicas, duplicates, copycats. I just would love to see more people just loving their own self and being them, doing them, you know. But, first of all, you got to know your rhythm, what works and what doesn't work for you. And every person is different. My rhythm is not another person's rhythm. And the things that I do doesn't take away from what another person does. But you definitely have to know who you are. You have to know what you like. You have to know what you're about. And that's usually the biggest problem is most people don't know how to be themselves. They don't. Most people don't know how to be them. They don't know how to tap into their own potential. They don't know how to be themselves. They don't know their own worth. They don't know what they're about. And they don't care to know what they're about. They're basically just involved in just being a copycat, just doing things to get likes. And the things that I've seen on this app are very sad to me. I find it to be very sad that people who don't know how to just embrace their own self, embrace themselves, like themselves, love themselves. But you got to know your own rhythm. You have to know what you're about. You do. And it's definitely a walk. It's a journey in this life to know what fulfills you, what makes you happy and what doesn't. But you got to know your own rhythm, what works, what doesn't work, what you like, what you don't like. And you definitely have to be strong in your head, and you got to be strong inside your heart. You got to be strong enough to say, even if other people don't like me, even if other people don't want to be around me, I'm okay with that. That's okay. I know my rhythm. I know me. I know my personal light. I know what I'm about. I know what I deserve. I know what is working for me, and I know what's not working for me. I think that's the difference. You have to know what's working for you. You got to. You got to know your own self. And I think that's usually the biggest issue is most people don't know themselves yet. They don't love themselves enough. Hey, Rachel, how are you doing? Good morning. Happy new week. Happy Monday to you. Happy new week to everybody who is in the chat. If you have not already, hit that like, subscribe to this channel, and to any mods that are in the building, you are always welcome to drop links to anybody's channel. So yeah, everybody, know your own rhythm and what works and what doesn't work for you. Um, that's a very important thing that a lot of people they walk around so miserable and unhappy because they haven't taken any time to get to know their own self. They haven't sat still enough. They haven't sat quiet enough to find out what really is their rhythm. And just like that beat of the drum, that rhythm because that rhythm starts coming from inside of the drummer. They know what is working. They know what sounds good. And the same thing for each and every one of you chatters. You have to know what is working for you, and also having enough courage to know what is not working. I never knew that when I was growing up. I didn't know that knowing what is not working takes courage too, because it takes courage to stand up and to say, "Hmm, I don't like this. I don't like what's happening to me, or I don't like how this makes me feel, or this is not me." That takes a lot of courage to be able to stand up and to just say, I'm strong enough that even if other people won't like it, even if whatever, I'm not going to do that because that's not me. That takes courage. It really does. It takes a lot of courage to stand out and to be different, because the majority of people out there are followers. They go more about likability. They rather be liked. They rather not rock the boat than to be the person to just be on their own road, on their own focus, on their own vibe. And it does. It takes a lot of courage. And I have to say, I'm proud. I celebrate all the people who are okay with being a strong woman, or being okay with being a strong man, and to say, I'm not always going to be liked. Forget the likes, forget who likes you. I always say that at the end of the day, who cares who likes you? Because what does it really matter? Likes aren't going to pay your bills. Likes aren't going to make you feel good inside. Most of the time, the things that we do for other people to get them to like us, it's like you have to sell your soul. You have to change who you are, or you have to hold back some of who you are in order to make them happy, to make other people feel comfortable. And yes, I can say that, when I went through therapy, I learned that a lot. I'm going to have to do a lot of being uncomfortable to get to a comfortable space in my life. And I'll tell you guys what I mean by that is we sometimes have to, when we stand out as different and we're walking to the beat of our own drum, we're going to have to do something different that other people won't do. The ones that don't have enough courage, the ones that won't be vulnerable, but you do have to allow yourself to be you. I wish more women and more men would do more of, that, of just letting themselves be them, right? Just being you, not trying to put on any airs, not trying to, this and I have certain things. The majority of the population goes so much by what other people are, how other people look, the clothes, the material things, and they don't go by the inside. They're always focused on what they look on the outside, but inside, they're unhappy, they're miserable, they're sad, they're all of those things. And I promised myself when I started to go to therapy that I would stop doing things to please other people, but it was not pleasing me. Not that all the time 100% it was about me, but I had to learn to start being happy with the decisions that I was making. And yes, while we do compromise for other people, you compromise for children, relatives, the job, because it's certain things you have to do, but you also can't forget the things that you want to do as a woman. You can't forget the things that you want to do as a man. And yeah, know your rhythm and what works, and know what doesn't work. Hi, Miss Tamika. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for your support. Let me go to the next point. Yeah. Okay. Don't waste time on comparisons. Okay. Don't waste time on comparisons. It's really a waste of time. It's really a waste of your effort, your energy. Um, so much people, they compare themselves to other people, and it's not fair, because people have different financial situations. People have had different journeys, different life circumstances, all type of things. Learning to walk to the beat of your own drum is so important because you can't compare your life to another person. That's crazy. People have different life. People have different ethnicities, different cultures, different circumstances, personalities. It's so many things that is different about each and every person. And instead of, learning to embrace, the differences, people make fun of your differences. People clown the differences, especially if that difference makes you feel uncomfortable. I always ask myself, if I feel the need to talk about somebody or laugh about somebody, make fun of them, it always says something about you as a woman or as a man. What gives me the right to be judgmental of another person? What gives me the right to think I know what it's like to walk in that person's shoes? And everybody does it. Everybody passes judgments against others. But I try my best to stop that when I start having those thoughts, to thinking, oh, that person is lazy, or that person is this, or that person is that. You really don't know. People get into situations and life just lifes. Problems just happen. People pass away. Difficulties happen. Life just happens. You never know from one day to the next the challenges that you're going to face. So we can't look at another person and think that because they are at this space in their life that we automatically should be at that space too. Not only do I not want to be like other people, I don't like that. I like the learning process. I like my own level of personal growth. And I had to start talking to myself and having conversations with myself. And it took me tapping into my personal awareness. And I asked myself, why do I think that I need to be like that person? Why do I think I'm not good enough? Because ultimately, that's what it is. When people make comparisons, when you make comparisons, when I make comparisons, it just means that I need to work on something about myself. Learning to walk to the beat of your own drum is a daily walk. It's a daily journey. It's something you have to do every day because we do doubt ourselves, and we can be our own worst critic. We judge ourselves, we put ourselves down, and we don't let ourselves forgive from decisions we made in the past or people we hurt. We beat up ourselves, beat up ourselves, beat up ourselves, and we have to stop doing that. Anytime when I start doing that judgmental thing, oh, you should have done this or you should have done that, I always tell myself, Marlene, stop that. Stop that. See, we operate on the level where we have personally grown. And I have to give myself that grace, that mercy, that compassion, that it's okay that I made mistakes, right? It's okay that I made mistakes. It's okay that I'm human. It's okay that I don't know everything. It's okay. I have to embrace that part of myself. And the more that you tap into that side of yourself, that I'm okay with comparing. I'm okay with not comparing. I'm okay with my personal journey. And we have to stop and pause on that sometimes. Am I okay with where I am in my personal life? Am I okay with, the space that I am in right now? And if you're not, you have to ask yourself why. We all go through something, these growing pains. And yes, when we get into certain situations, sometimes it is a pain. It does hurt. But in that hurt, did you learn a lesson? That's a part of walking to the beat of your own drum. It's not that you're going to have a worry free life or people aren't going to do things to us. No, it means that you're going to make good decisions, you're going to make bad decisions, but I'm not going to allow myself to not learn the lesson. I think that's important for every single human being. It's part of the human experience to allow yourself to just say, this is me. I do wrong. I don't make the best decision. I have a bad attitude sometimes. I feel sad. I get discouraged. It's okay. That's me. But I'm not like anybody else. And I'm going to embrace myself. And I'm not going to compare myself, my situation, my everything to another person. Learning you. And I wish every single woman or man would learn themselves, learn that me personally, I'm okay. What I've dealt with, what gone through is my journey, is my life. And don't be embarrassed of it. I know a lot of people are embarrassed of their story and they don't like to talk about it because most people don't like to be transparent. I have no problem talking about anything that happened to me in my life because it's my story. It's my journey. It's my life. It shows that I am growing, that I'm learning. And the more that I learn, the more that I mature, the more that I love myself, I have no problem being an open book. And yes, I do understand that you have to be at a certain mental space because people will look at you different, people will judge you and all kinds of things. But I share my story and the things that I go through, not for what caring about what other people say. I share it because I want somebody else that has been through something similar or is going through something like me to see I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that has done some crazy things. I'm not the only one that has been through painful situations. So we don't have to compare our lives to other people. It is what it is. And you're your own individual, and I embrace that. And I'm proud of that about myself. And another part of walking to the beat of your own drum is being unique, and loving that about yourself. um, Things that are different about you. I know I can say for myself, just off the top, off the cuff, I know that my voice is different. I know my looks. I know I have larger eyes than most people. I know that I embrace my natural hair. I can have my natural hair one day. I can be in wigs and weaves, and it doesn't make me any less or any better. I just like change. I'm a person that likes change, and I get it that sometimes people don't like my change. Some people may not like my voice. They may not like who I am. They may not like my light, and that's their problem. The more that I know myself and love myself, I learn to embrace every single thing about me, and also having enough courage that if I see something inside of me that I don't like, I have enough courage within myself to change it. And it does take a lot of maturity, it takes a lot of humility to see things inside of yourself, see things that when you do that and you see that it causes pain and hurt to people you care about, having enough courage to say, I don't like to see that person get hurt, or I'm not in that space to where it's all about me. That's walking to the beat of your own drum, realizing your potential, knowing how you can grow and do better and be better. That's unique. That's being unique. Most people out there will say, I want to grow, I want to have this, I want to be this big and better person, but they're not willing to do any of the work that causes the uncomfort, that causes you to highlight your flaws. And we have to do that in order to grow. My flaws is a part of my uniqueness, and I love that about myself. I have no problem with saying, girl, you messed up with that, or you need to learn to not do this or do that, or learn to pause or slow down, learn to enjoy your life, take your breaks. And I'm grateful for that, that now I can actually do that and be in that space in my life where I don't feel guilty anymore about shutting myself off from other people. I don't feel bad about using my talents and my gifts. I don't feel I don't feel ashamed like I used to be to go outside and have my natural hair like I used to, and other people look at me like, "Oh, look at her hair." That used to do something to me on the inside. Like, I don't like her hair. When I do that self reflection and I start thinking about myself and things that may offend you from other people, it has everything to do with us. Why I always ask myself, why does their thoughts or opinions affect me? And I had to pause on that for a while because I used to get so set off, so pissed off when people would do things to me. And I was like, why does that matter to you? Why do you care? And yes, I get it. Most people, we want to be liked. You want to be liked, but don't be liked at the cost of downgrading yourself or stopping yourself from your success. So, be yourself and like that about yourself. And this is another one, walking to the beat of your own drum, learning to walk in silence. That's a big one. It was such a big one because I had a problem a long time ago, when relatives or friends or other anybody that I knew, and they would ask me questions, and I always felt like when people asked me something that I had to, that I must, that it was necessary to tell people our business because they ask. And when I started thinking about it, most of the time, the people who ask you personal business, they want to get all in and know every single detail of your life. Those same people are not telling you their business. They're keeping their stuff to themselves. They're not telling you how much they make, what is going on with themselves, what they got going on. They're not telling you their business, but they feel that they have the right to know yours. So we're the ones that have to make those choices to, I had to learn too to stop telling them certain things, and also learning to just do things and keeping it to myself, keeping it inside, or certain things that I only would tell to people that I trusted them with my eyes closed, that I knew I could trust them in my face and I knew I could trust them behind my back. It's a learning process. You have to learn to grow into that. We get excited sometimes about things we're doing, or we get excited about our ideas. We get excited about our gifts and potential, and we want to tell everybody, because our light is just that strong inside of ourselves. You definitely want to tell people because you're proud of yourself, but not everybody is happy for us. Not everybody is happy for you. Learning to, do that silent walk, learning to keep things inside. Because I'll tell you something, the reason why it's good to walk in silence is because you never know what people will do. When you tell people something and then they take it, and they process it, and maybe they don't like that you had that idea before them. They get jealous of it. Maybe they'll go out, and before you even get to put your thought into action, they'll take your idea, then go and do it. And that has happened to me before in business and also here on social media. And I had to learn to stop talking, less talk and more action. That's a part of walking in silence too. Don't tell them, show them. Be about it. Be about it, and not for other people. Prove that to yourself. When you have something that is inside of you, something that you're working on, something that you want to do, just show people what you're going to do. Because let's just be honest, sometimes things happen to us and things fall through. Maybe you may get sick, maybe the money falls through, something just doesn't go right, somebody pulls out, and you just can't do what you wanted to do. And then you're like, man, I told everybody I was going to do that, and now you look like a fool, like you got egg on your face because you told all these people what you're going to do, and now you realize you can't. So that's one of the reasons why walking in silence is the best thing you could ever do. And I encourage all of my chat family, keep your mouth closed. Hold your business. And I know there's a lot of people out there that can't hold water. So don't think that just because you feel that you can trust people, you never know on the inside. You never know. People will be in your face smiling with you, and you don't even know that's your enemy. You don't even know that's a person who doesn't even like you. I learned that the hard way. Not everybody comes around you is for you, and that's real. That was so hard for me to receive that, because I always thought that because people were in my face that they liked me. I thought because they were in my face that was my friend. Mm-mm. No, 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 everybody. So, walk in silence, keep things to yourself, keep your own business, and work on it, and work on your plan until your plan works. That's the best part of walking in silence. You don't have to feel rushed. You don't have to feel forced. You don't have to feel judged. Only you know what you're doing. And then you get at it and you do it, and then you release it when it's working. Yeah, it's all of those things that when just be quiet, just keep things to yourself, just handle your business and do what you need to do, then you don't have to worry about other people and their judgments. And I really like that, you know. Let's see. Okay, let's go to this next one. Um, walk into the beat of your own drum. Now everybody's different. Maybe the way I dress, other people don't like. Maybe the way other people dress, I don't like. But it's not my business. That's one of the best parts of being a grown up, a grown person. You have the right to do what you want. But I'm just speaking for myself because of my light from within, from how I have grown. I've learned that walking to the beat of my own drum shows that I have to learn to respect me first. That's nobody else's job but mine. And everybody and other people have the right to do whatever they want to do in their life. But for me, because I take on my role seriously of leadership, I dress, I talk, and I treat myself in a respectful way. And that comes with a lot of responsibility. You think all the time I want to dress nice, I want to be in certain things. Yeah, there are times where I want to be in my bonnet and my scarf, and those are the times I turn my camera off because I am not representing myself the way that I need to, because my spirit told me there's certain places that you're going, people are going to look back on how you were looking, how you were talking, how you were treating other people. And I want everything that they will see on camera, or even if my camera is off, to be a representation of my brand. So the same thing for you all, be your own unique self. I'm not telling you to be like Marlene. No, I don't do that. I'm all for people to express themselves from where they are. Be yourself. Do yourself. If you like something and that makes you feel good, then do that. And don't try to change that, or be like other people. But I just like to encourage that enlightenment. Treat yourself respectfully, however that looks for you. For me, that means addressing a certain way in a business way, because I am a businesswoman. So yeah, whoever gets that message gets it. Learning to walk to the beat of your own drum. um is something that I'm still learning, that I'm still learning to stand into those shoes. Life is too short for fear. And fear is something that can paralyze you. Oh, it's paralyzing to be fearful. And most of the time, the things that we are fearful about, there's no reason to fear it. We fear most of the time what we don't understand. We're lacking the knowledge, and life is too short to stay in that fear mode. It's way too short. It's way too short to fear. But, most of the time I found that the reason why I'm fearing doing things and going for the things that I want is because I don't believe that I can do it. And learning to encourage that inside of myself. Don't be fearful. And I ask myself, why am I fearful? Most of the time it's because I haven't researched, and because I don't know what's the next step. And yes, we're not going to always know what's the next step. We're not always going to know what's going to happen next, but it's okay. Sometimes the unknown is good for us. Not knowing what's going to happen next is good for us. It's good for us to not know what every single thing is going to happen, but also it's important for us to get into that planning, get into that, doing things that make us feel good about ourselves. you know Life is too short to not enjoy your life. And I see Miss Tamika saying, yes it is, Marlene. Yes, it is. Life is too short. Life is too short for fear. And for a long time I was fearing so many stupid things. I was fearing so many, and it was stupid. It didn't make any sense. For a long time, I feared, you know, going on a plane, because I always said, I always put all of the negatives. This could happen, this could happen, and that could happen. And of course, I talk myself out of a gift. I talk myself out of a blessing. I talk myself out of a new experience. And that's not good for us, because I don't know either what's next. Yeah, and nobody does. We're so afraid of fear. And it's like a cycle that you spiral, and you'll stay in that. You spiral down, and it's like you spiral down that rabbit hole, and you stay down there, because when you always believe that nothing will happen, nothing will work, it's not working out, I can't do it, we are sabotaging our success, we're sabotaging our potential. And there's no way that you can enjoy your life if you only think in the negative, if you only think about what may go wrong, instead of thinking, but what could go right? What could I learn? Who could I be? Who can I meet? There's certain impacts that have to happen. That, yes, sometimes bad things will happen to us by being open, by going for it, by going after our dreams. But also there's a lot of things that we learn. There's a lot of ways that we grow. There's a lot of ways we improve and we get better. And we're not going to do that if we don't walk past fear. And you all know that I'm a woman of faith. So when we have that fear, couple that fear with your faith. You know, that's something that I kind of got away from. And I think everybody gets away from faith, whatever your belief system is. We get away because we think that we can always fix things. And there are certain things that is too much for us to do. There's some things that we just don't know how to do it. And that's where you lean in on your faith, your spirituality, to help you to get through what's next. So anytime where I feel like I feel paralyzed by that fear, I feel so worried, I start talking myself out of certain things and say, I can't do it, I won't do it, I don't understand. And you start telling yourself, you can't afford it, because you actually don't want to do it. That's another thing about fear. We talk ourselves out of things, and we make excuses for things that we don't want to do anyways. I'm definitely a person. I don't enjoy going to the gym. I don't enjoy exercise. That's not my thing. But I know when I exercise, I know when I go for a walk or I go to the gym or I do something that is good for me, get me moving, it helps my mental health. And when I exercise, it also gets me thinking about certain things, and I solve problems a lot of times in my exercise. And yeah, there are a lot of things that we have to do in this life that we don't like. It's a lot of things. And one of them, I can say for me, is working. It's not always our favorite thing to do, but we do it because we have to, because we have to provide for ourselves and our families. So don't let that fear of saying, I don't like something, stop you from other things that you can have, because it's certain gifts that we get when we push past that fear, when we do things that we don't necessarily like. And on the other side, that's how I like to think about it, that I have to think about more than just I like it or I don't like it. I also have to think about, how is this going to help me? How am I going to grow from this? How, what gift, what is on the other side of that fear? Or also what is underneath the fear? Asking ourselves that question, why am I fearful? What is, why does this cause me the fear? And sometimes it's the projections of other people, sometimes it's what other people are saying and doing. People will tell us their experiences, and then we'll believe it and take it on as ours. Well, then I'm not going to do it because I don't like that, or whatever it is. But we have to understand that everybody is going to have their own experience, and their experience is not mine. I would rather, try it out on my own. I rather learn my own experience, because just because it didn't work out for them doesn't mean it won't work out for me. Or maybe you, some like a food that everybody says is gross, that's disgusting, and that winds up being your favorite. So don't let other people, because they don't like it, they don't want to do it, they're whatever, they're judgmental about something, or maybe it's something they can't afford, or that's the reason why they say it. People say things based on where they are operating, and some people are operating in a high vibration. They're in a negative space, so we can't follow that. Another person's experience is not mine. Another person's experience is not yours. So life is too short, to listen to what other people say. Go for the gusto, go for your dreams, get active in that, and don't stay in that fear space, because just think about what you could be, what you could do. And I feel like some of the biggest fears is getting over, the fear when you have been hurt, when somebody's hurt you, like friendships, romantic relationships, in business. We have to get over that fear and heal that. Remind ourselves that even though I went through this, you know, go underneath that. Yes, I was hurt. It's important to acknowledge that you get hurt, that somebody did something to you, but don't let that, the circumstance or certain people, scar you for life, or make that be, get you stuck in being in that space that you never get out there and try again. Never open up your heart, never try to do something you want to, never go for something because something happened to you once. Now the next time, pay attention to certain things, look at, certain red flags. There's certain things that when we go through um, issues, problems, people who hurt us, we have to ask ourselves, why did that happen to me? What did I add to it to make that person did what they did to me? Was that a them problem, or was that a me problem? And that helped me so much in my personal life, in my maturity, in my growth. learning what was mine, learning to be accountable for me. Okay, I allowed them to do this, this, and this to me, and I shouldn't have. I should have spoke up for myself. I should have walked away from them. I should have done this, this, and this. And on the other side, there's certain things that's not me. Stop trying to take on ownership of something that's not yours. You don't own their mess. You're not responsible for other people's lack of maturity. You're not responsible for people who don't care or, don't respect themselves, don't treat you the way that you should. You're not responsible for that. And once I learned that, like really learned that lesson, that I can't take ownership of another person. I can't help another person to mature. I can't help you to grow up. I can't help you to love yourself. I can't help you to be a good friend or a mother or make better financial decisions. That's not my responsibility. It's not my problem to bail you out because you don't know how to handle your financial situation. That's not mine. I had to learn that. Learning to walk to the beat of my own drum is learning that that's not my business. That's not my problem. Like I do. Don't get it twisted, guys. Don't get it wrong that I don't care about other people, because I do. I care about other people, but I care about myself. And I had to learn to stop. I had to learn to stop letting other people, and where they were in their life caused me to be stuck too. That I felt like I had to always be there and be supportive and be understanding, but I wasn't getting the same reciprocated. I wasn't getting back the same kindness and consideration and love and light and understanding and financial support like they were giving, like I was giving to them. And I had to say to myself, Marlene, life is too short to stay around people that don't care about you. And that was my own. I had to take ownership of that. That's mine. I had to take that on and ask myself, why do I keep accepting that sort of bad behavior? Why do I allow people to step all over me, to run all over me? If the only message that you get from this discussion and walking to the beat of your own drum is, don't be a doormat. Don't be a doormat to other people in your life. And it doesn't matter who it is, in romantic relationship, in friendship, with your spouse or significant other, with your children, with your relative, on the job, in all relationships. Don't let people use, manipulate, and just use you like a puppet to get the things that they want, but they never see you, hear you, value you, and do something kind and considerate for you. Learning to walk to the beat of my own drum is learning to stand up for me. And yes, the people get real hurt. They get butt hurt when you have enough courage to say, I'm not going to let you do that anymore. And you start standing up for yourself and you say, no, I'm not going to do that for you anymore. You need to do that for yourself. Having enough, that takes a lot of courage for you to, like, I'm not changing this. You may not like it, but that's your problem. You need to make better decisions because I believe in myself. I believe in my own personal light. It's real though. It's true. Don't let other people, because they're, hurt or they're going through whatever it is that they're going through, stop you from being who you are. Okay? Don't let people railroad you and make you feel like you're trash. And that's basically what was happening to me almost my whole life. I was letting relatives and friends and jobs control me. I was doing everything for everybody. I was. I was doing everything for everybody, but I wasn't doing anything for me. That's not good. And people like a person that they can use, That's, I found out, in walking to the beat of my own drum, the reason why people will like you or say they love you. No, they love what they can use. They love who they can manipulate. They love a person who will let them do whatever they want, but they never let you have what you want. They don't even ask you. They don't ask you if you're good, if you're okay, if you need something. And those are not the sort of people that you need in your life. And I know for me, I definitely had to learn that I don't need those sort of people to fulfill me. That doesn't fill up my cup. I had to learn for me that that was toxic. That was toxic behavior. That was manipulation. That was drama. It was foolishness. It was all of those things. And I deserve better than that. And I say that to all of you, chat family. Respect yourself. Respect yourself enough to walk away from people who are users. And the majority of the relationships out there these days are toxic. They are. It's better most of the time for you to just be by yourself. It's better for you to have maybe one person that is your true blue, your ride or die, that you can hang with, that you can bounce off ideas that will support you. It's better to have one real and true friend than to have this whole group of people and they don't care nothing about you. They just say that. And people will only say they care about you and they support you and they think you're amazing because of what you're doing for them. But I always say test out all relationships, in walking to the beat of your own drum. It's so important to test and see who people really are. When people say, call me anytime, have you tested that out? People say, I love you. Have you, you know, where's the proof of it? Proof is in the pudding, proof is in the action. People throw out that friend word, that love word, that support word, and they don't give that. You don't feel it, you're not receiving it. And in walking to the beat of your own drum, you have to identify it and say, I don't need that. I deserve more. And most of the time, we don't raise the bar. We actually lower the bar to make other people in our life feel comfortable. And I don't do that anymore. I stop um, downgrading myself. I stop lowering my expectations to make other people happy. Can't do that. It doesn't make me feel good. And I'm sure it doesn't make you feel good as well. You can't lower your expectations. You'll never be happy. You'll never have the things that you want. You'll never be able to go after your goals and your dreams. See, other people's dreams can't be yours. I had to learn that. And you can't keep doing what you've always done and expecting different results. If you want to be different from other people, if you want to change your life, you have to do something in order for that to happen. It means you got to get busy, you got to get active, you got to stop making excuses. You have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. You got to make some changes. You got to get rid of those toxic people out of your life, and be yourself. The majority of the population out here in this life are not themselves. They're whatever, they're followers, they're weak-minded, they're manipulators, narcissists. They just want to use other people. They don't know anything about being themselves. Individuality is a wonderful thing. It's one of the best things that you can ever do for yourself. But I'll tell you something, that when you are an individual, people are threatened by you. People aren't going to like you. I'll tell you that right now. The more that you like yourself and even step past that, like yourself, become friends with yourself, and then love yourself in that order. Once you love yourself, you're going to stop giving, I'm not going to say the word, about what other people say, about what other people like, So, get out there and do something different, be somebody different, I always hear people say, be the change that you want to see in this world. But I don't know. I don't want to be the change. I just want to be me. And that's what I'm about. That's the vibe I'm on, is learning to embrace myself and being me, and learning that, I'm enough. I can do better. I don't have to settle. I can make changes. And if I don't like something or someone, I don't have to. You don't have to like everybody. And, also learning to walk to the beat of my own drum is that we outgrow people. That's one of the biggest lessons that I learned. And it's not because you think you're better than other people or all of these things, because that's what people always think, that it's a jealousy thing. I'm not jealous of another person. I could care less what another person is doing. Just sometimes I outgrow the people because they're staying in the same thing, and I want different, you know? And I'm happy for other people if that's where they are. But when you're on a different frequency, when you're on a different elevation, when you're raising your bar, I don't like staying that negative space. I don't want to keep with the same things and around the same people who aren't growing and aren't doing amazing and great things. I'm looking for people who are motivated, encouraged, positive, making things happen, making changes, getting uncomfortable, stepping outside of the box, and allowing themselves to be exactly what they should be and not just what other people want them to be. And that definitely takes a lot of courage. It really does. It takes a lot of courage to be a trendsetter, for you to not be a follower. It takes a lot of courage to let go of fear and walk through and say, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I just know I need to do this. I know that I have this inside, and I got to go for my dreams. I got to for I just got to go for it. And you may win, you may lose. It may work out, it may not, but it's okay. At least you tried it. Learn walking to the beat of your own drum means having enough courage to go out there and try something new. Try something new. Uh, it will make you feel good about yourself. So, yeah, it's all of those things. So, I encourage every single person who comes to this podcast, that comes to this channel, try something new, try something different, and don't be like people in the past. I'm very big on that. Don't be like the people who hurt you. Don't be like the people who don't make changes. Don't be like the crowd. Have enough courage to stand up and to say, I'm going to do this because this is me. I'm going to have enough courage, and I'm going to step into these shoes of my faith, of my prosperity, of my goals. I'm going to get focused. I'm going to go after my dreams. I'm going to do this for me. And it does. It takes a lot of courage. It takes motivation. It takes inspiration. It takes vulnerability. It takes humility. All of those things shaken up and stirred all together to make exactly who you are. So whoever needs to hear this message, walk to the beat of your own drum. You know, don't be a follower. Don't follow other people, because that will case you up. It will get you so messed up following what everybody else is doing. Learning to be your own self, be your own person, and liking that. Some people will like it, some people won't. Don't It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. You walk to the beat of your own drum. Yeah. Yeah. Facts. Busy following a trend. Yeah, and those trends will get you messed up. And I've even seen some things like dressing styles. To each his or her own, but that's not me. I know myself. I know what I like. I know what looks good on me. And I'm not going to just get things just because it has a certain brand on it. But that's me. I don't expect that to be other people. I don't care about brands. While I like certain brands, but I'm not a a person that I have to have a certain brand to feel good about me, or I have to have a certain amount of money to feel like I made it. I'm me. I know my own life. I know my own family. I know what what I need to survive, you know? And I feel like this is the very important part of this discussion. And the last point too, stay away from people and energy who or that discourage your expression or your freedom to be. Stay away from those people. People who take from you, who pull from you, who use you, people who discourage you to make changes, people who don't like when you're doing something different, you know. Stay away from those people. If people aren't going to nurture, foster, and support you making changes, you doing better, you being happy, you being joyful, you just being yourself, then you don't need those people in your life. Or the people who have that negative energy, that toxicity, the people who always are talking about other people. I can't vibe with that. That's not me. I'm not telling anybody else what to do or to think, but I can't stay on that wavelength. I can't. I got to be around people who actually like themselves, and they're trying to do something better. They're staying on the what can I do next? The people who have the courage and the ability to stay consistent. I really admire people who are consistent, because Marlene, I'm a consistent queen. I'm all about consistency. I'm definitely about time management, but that's me. I walk to the beat of my own drum. I'm a consistent and an honest person. I have no problem being transparent. And I know that that's not everybody's energy. Everybody is not going to like me, and I don't care. I really don't care. I'm at the stage and age in my life where I have enough courage to just be me, regardless of who likes it. And whoever tries to come in and tell me that what I'm trying to do is not a good thing, you get the block. Don't give people that energy, that time, that none of it. Stay away from those type of people and that energy, because you don't deserve to be discouraged. There's enough discouragement in the day to day, the things that we personally are dealing with and going through, trying to maintain. You don't need that in your life. You need positivity. You need motivation. You need support. Um, and also, speaking positive things over your life. If you're not doing that, try working on that too. What you think about is who you become, who you are. So when you change the direction of your thoughts, you change what actually happens in your real time. Because when I started working on how I talk to myself, my the conversations I have with myself, my own personal awareness, now I'm able to manifest. I'm able to allow certain things to happen because I'm not fearful of things. I'll say, this is what I'm going to do. And then I do it. And I do everything to make that happen. And I don't stop. I have like that, what is it called? That tunnel vision, that I know what I need to do. And anything outside of that, I have to stay away from it. So the same thing for all of you. Stay away from things that get you outside of your vision, your light, your energy, and making and stopping you from feeling good about yourself. Stay away from those type of people. You deserve better than that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. I do this podcast, the Blah 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 podcast, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're new, subscribe to this channel. We're on the road to 800 subscribers. A giveaway will be coming when I reach that 800 subscriber mark. I appreciate everybody's support, and everybody walk to the beat of your own drum. Know your worth. And some people aren't going to like it, and it's okay. It's okay. You're all right. Yes. Be who you are meant to be. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next blah, blah, blah podcast. Bye-bye, everybody. See you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Bye-bye.